I was trending because old posts on my website, laneygossip.com, from the 2000s were pulled up, and those posts were racist, they were misogynistic, they were homophobic, they were transphobic, they were ugly, they were shameful. I'm so sorry. The Lainey Gossip website has evolved in that time, and I have addressed and apologized over the years for these sins. However, accountability is not temporary, it's ongoing. So I'm here today to be accountable.
The layer of nags and battle axes at The Social is back at it in 1 week. They've helped ruin one woman and have completely excused one of their own for the exact same social justice crime. That apology I opened my video with is one of the 4 women who host The Social on CTV, Lainey Louie. The Social is Canada's version of The View, for those of you who don't know, and just like The View, it's intolerable and shallow. However, it's even less diverse than The View because The View will actually allow a conservative host on the panel now and then. In the social worldview, Canadian women only seem to care about fashion, makeup, complaining openly about their husbands and their children, and we only hold orthodox liberal values. According to them, we care more about Trudeau being handsome than we do about his record debt levels, his out-of-control spending, and what that all means for our children. Personally, the show insults my intelligence as a woman. But I guess enough people are watching it as they're held hostage in nail salons across the country for the show to avoid cancellation. Anyway, Louie made that apology that I showed you right off the top of this video because, as she notes, her past blog posts have now come to light, where if we use the yardstick the left uses to measure social justice failings, she was racist, sexist, slut-shaming, and classist. Just look at this post from Louie from 2006. And sorry about the language here, I'm reading it verbatim. Ghetto tits, ghetto weave, ghetto belt, ghetto color combination. Miss Jackson is channeling Tara Reid, and it is breaking my heart. I also wish she could move past the 90s. The high, fat ponytail is so over. By the way, is it just me, or does she look like she just got another nose job? Is there a self-mutilating gene that runs in this family, or did Joe Jackson just F his kids up nice and good? Anyway, Louie has apparently a lot more posts just like that one, but Louie is apologizing, and so it's all fine and good with her co-hosts, I see. But here's the problem for Lainey Louie. I believe in redemption and in personal growth. I'm conservative, so I believe that people can and do change, that someone's past is not their present, nor does it dictate their future. I believe that we can outwork our past mistakes and be something much better. But those are not the rules of modern progressive cancel culture. And sorry, sister, but I don't make the rules. Lainey Louie and her gang of scoldy shrews do, as do their cohorts in Canada's hedonistic but strangely judgmental pop culture. Do you know what I mean here? They come from the overtly permissive side of the culture, the side that says literally everything goes until they decide that whatever you've done or said does definitely not go. These women on The Social have been the unwatchable Canadian constables, enforcing and drafting as they go the societal laws of cancel culture. Judge, jury, and executioner of who gets to be in the public square and who gets run out of it forever. Now, last week, when one of their CTV colleagues, Jessica Mulrooney, got in a spat with some other social media influencer that I have never heard of until all this broke, well, Mulrooney was accused of exploiting her white privilege to bully that influencer, Sasha Exeter, a black blogger and Instagrammer during, quote, this movement, which I think refers to the rise of BLM. And I think, and it's all kind of catty and stupid, but according to Exeter, it's over Mulrooney's failure to explain sufficiently, in Exeter's opinion, why Mulrooney had not yet posted in support of BLM. And then an argument ensued where Mulroney allegedly threatened to contact the companies who work with Exeter. It's social media influencers being as petty as I assume they are. A chick fight? Definitely. White supremacy, though? Yeah, no. But according to the gals at The Social, it was white privilege. Totally. Cancel Jessica Mulroney. She's over. So explain to me why Mulroney and now her husband have had to lose their jobs. But Lainey Louie, well, she's going to keep hers. How's that for white privilege? Remember when Don Cherry said this?
You people love you that come here, whatever it is. You love our way of life. You love our milk and honey. At least you could pay a couple of bucks for poppies or something like that.
Well, those harpies on The Social made sure that Don Cherry got canceled for it because they thought the phrase "you people" was somehow racist, and they didn't like that Cherry had the audacity to encourage people to wear the poppy, all the while saying extremely bigoted things themselves to explain their strange positions. Just watch.
I don't worship at the altar of hockey. I never have. And maybe it's because of where I grew up, but and going to a couple different universities, there's a certain type of person in my mind, in my experience, who does. And they all tended to be white boys who weren't, let's say, very nice. They were not generally thoughtful. They were often bullies. Their parents were able to afford to put them, spend $5,000 a year on minor hockey instead of $5,000 is a lot of money. You could do other things besides spending your time in an arena. You could go on a trip and learn about the world, see other things, eh? The world is a big place. Maybe get side out of that bubble. And for me, Don Cherry is the walking and talking representative of that type. And he's the type of person that now people want to like, and I know he's done some good things, but at the same time, when someone good is also able to make fun of people who believe in climate science, who's also able to be like, whether he's charming or not, but he's still a bigot and a misogynist, when you're, to have those two things, like, I dismiss those people.
Jessica Allen, the woman you heard there, half-heartedly said sorry, but no firing for her, just another apology from CTV. And so, of course, the fans of The Social, well, they made excuses for their favorite boring yet merciless host for her slights toward hockey boys and hockey families. The fans found more charity in their hearts for Allen than the uncharitable host could find for the grieving Humboldt families and their dead sons. You see, it's just like Trudeau. When you're the one making all the rules, it's easy enough to change the rules when you run afoul of them. Well, I say no more. These are their rules, the left's rules, and it's time for them to play by them. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. While our competitors in the mainstream media sit comfortably behind their desks and cancel people for saying things they disagree with, our journalists are out there in the field, gathering the news, telling the other side of the story, and putting themselves at great risk of violence to do it. To support their security, please go to journalistdefensefund.com.